All right, I'm here with my buddy, my pal, Peter David. We've hung out for the last couple of years down at another con, not to be named.
No.
Have you seen any crazy costumes here this weekend?
Oh, God. I mean, yeah, they've been absolutely fantastic. There's stormtroopers running around all over the place. There's a stormtrooper with a wrestling mask. I'm not quite sure what the hell to make of that. Princess Leia. Yeah.
I saw a Hello Kitty stormtrooper, which is a little weird.
Hello Kitty. That's actually disturbing on more levels than I care to think about. There's an Elmo walking around.
Yeah.
You see the Elmo with the cape, Super Elmo?
Yeah. It gets a little crazy here. It gets a little nutty. Everybody shows up in costume, and one of our favorite pastimes is watching these costume competitions that they have.
Oh yeah,
at these cons sometimes.
Yeah. So just at the convention that we will not name, Dragon Con. Scott and a whole bunch of folks were up at my hotel room, and we're having barbecue chicken from Fat Matt's Rib Shack, and they were showing the costume competition on the closed circuit TV, and we're sitting there doing snarky commentary on the costumes. It was doing Mystery Science Theater. It was a lot of fun.
It's like little one-liners.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's see. We're here at Wizard World, and I have a lot of friends who wanted me to ask you questions for them.
Shoot.
But before I get to that,
okay,
I want to say I read the Quicksilver one-shot.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite characters of all time.
Mine too.
Are we going to see him kind of set back on the right path? I mean, it looked like it in the one-shot. Is he going to be back involved more heavily in X Factor from now on? Or?
That is my plan. It is the plan which is mine. Now, granted, I don't know for certain yet because I haven't gotten, purely pragmatically, I haven't gotten the approval yet on the storyline that I want to do with Quicksilver in X Factor. But presuming that I get the okay on it, then yes, definitely. I mean, for all I know, there may be plans to use him elsewhere in the Marvel Universe, but I ideally would like to bring him back into X Factor.
I would love to see that. Speaking about X Factor, they did the X3 movie, and Eric Dane played Madrox, and I always wanted to play Madrox. Do you think there's a chance that I could boot him out of there and maybe do like a Madrox miniseries possibly, like on TV? Would you be interested in writing a screenplay for that?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see a Madrox series starring you. I mean, that would be great. I mean, I remember I went to the Marvel screening for X3, and Magneto lets Madrox out of the encasement and says, yes, would you care to join me? And Madrox says, sounds great. And I'm sitting in the audience, and I said more too loudly than I would have, than I thought I was going to. I went, oh, wonderful, because my guy is with Magneto. So I go, oh, wonderful. And my voice carried, and everybody in the place knew it was me, and they all broke up. Yeah.
That's awesome. I was wondering your thoughts on that. They kind of misused a few characters in that, but we'll let that go.
Yeah.
But X Factor's been fantastic.
Thank you.
What else are you looking forward to, like moving forward? I mean, I know you have Fallen Angel. I know that's your baby.
Yep.
I know you're still working on that. Is there anything you're gonna be jumping on to? I know She-Hulk right now. You're kind of getting a hold of that. What else? Do you have anything else, or is your plate just full right now?
Well, actually, I mean, for Marvel, I've got She-Hulk. I've got X Factor. Dark Tower, Stephen King is continuing, and I'm having just an absolute ball doing that.
Have you met Stephen King?
Oh yeah.
Is he wild, or is he really kind of mellow?
Very mellow. I mean, he came the first time I saw him in years and years and years was last year's New York Comic Con, where he walks into the green room and he's going up to people going, "Hi, I'm Steve," and you expect someone of that level to walk in with an entourage of about a dozen people, and please keep back for Mr. King, please. And walks in, "Hi, I'm Steve," and it was odd, and yet it was great to see that somebody of that magnitude is just so ordinary, so like down to earth. Also, I'm going to be I've just signed to do a new limited series from IDW that's going to be based on my fantasy series, Sir Apropos of Nothing. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice. So little creator-owned stuff, just kind of still branching out.
Absolutely.
Now, with X Factor, you've been with them so long. One of my favorite issues of all time. I think I've told you this before, and I'm sure you hear it from everybody. But the Doc Samson issues, where he does the psychological profiles.
87, yeah.
My favorite issue ever. How often do you hear that, or that an issue from X Factor is like their favorite? Or is your other stuff? I mean, of course, the Hulk early on and stuff. Like, What do you hear the most? What are your fans' favorite stuff that you've done?
Yeah, X Factor 87's really up there. As a matter of fact, sometimes I wonder if I ever wrote any other issues of X Factor. And that just arose out of necessity, because at the time, all the other X books, they were written by Chris and that kind of thing. And Chris was famous for doing these lengthy internal monologues in which people would think for incredible lengths of time about everything that was going through their heads.
Right.
I took a much more naturalistic approach, and I didn't have people thinking about all their deepest thoughts. I just had them doing what they were doing. And I would get letters from fans saying, well, the characters are very one-dimensional. They don't seem to have any deep thoughts or anything, because they were so accustomed to the way that Chris was doing it. I finally said, you know what? I'm going to do one issue in which they do nothing except talk about everything that's going on in their heads, and I'm going to lay out all their characterization in 22 pages, and I'll do it once so I never have to do it again. And I thought, but what is an appropriate format for me to do something like that? And I opted for, I said, a psychiatrist. It's a perfect environment for them to sit there and talk about everything that's going through their minds. And that's where that issue came from. It was a response to the fans not getting the way that I was doing the characterization. And everyone loved it. Everyone, particularly the Quicksilver fans. When in 3 pages, I described Quicksilver's point of view about the world, in which he feels that he's surrounded he lives in a world where no one knows how to use an ATM, that everything. And I got tons of letters from people going, I now know how he feels, because I too have been stuck behind people who don't know how to use an ATM. Curiously, I never got any letters from people copping to being the person who doesn't know how to do it. Everyone else has always been inconvenienced by them.
All right, switching gears a little bit. You got a lot on your plate right now. You're pretty busy. It's blockbuster season right now. Do you get a chance to go to the movies? Do you get a chance to take some time off at home and watch some TV? Like, what are your favorite shows to watch? What are your favorite movies? What are you really looking forward to this year?
Well, let's see. We love Speed Racer, and I'm not saying that just because I'm sucking up. We loved Speed Racer. Boy, did that film get screwed over by the critics.
I've never seen a film more polarized, like with that polarized the critics as much as Speed Racer did.
I actually have, and I can tell you exactly what it was. Blade Runner. Here you had a film that had a unique, never-before-seen visualization of the world that was loud and splashy, and the critics didn't know what the hell to make of it, and it was polarized. And by the way, Blade Runner tanked in the movie theaters. But it began a series of visualizations and stylings that since then took hold, and it was seen later as revolutionary. And I'm telling you, 10 years down the line, people are going to look back at Speed Racer and talk about what a visionary film it was because of the way that it was made and the things the Wachowskis did. I thought it was freaking brilliant.
I'll say thank you for them, because I know they
were you
really
in that?
love to hear that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. Were you in that film?
Early on.
Early on.
Young Matt Fox, but nobody could ever see past Matt Fox.
No. Speaking of Matt Fox, love Lost. Doing a great, I think they're doing a fantastic job. I like Boston Legal, of all things.
Shatner.
Monk on USA is a lot of fun. Dexter on Showtime. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have to go because I've got a signing.
Yeah. Well, I could talk to you all day, man, but I'm gonna let you go. You got a busy day. I got a busy day. Peter David, everybody.